Hello and welcome to the Creative DNA Sanara podcast. My name is Silvia Tonui and I'll be your host today. I am the founder of MGE Group Africa and we're the implementing partner for Creative DNA Sanara, which is implemented in partnership with the British Council and MasterCard Foundation. The program supports young creatives across Kenya to access skills, networks, and real opportunities for dignified work in the cultural and fashion industries. Through training, mentorship, market access, and global exchange, the program is transforming creative talent into sustainable livelihoods. This podcast is part of that journey, creating space for honest storytelling from young fashion designers who are redefining what fashion means today. Today, we delve into a very important topic, reimagining identity, young designers shaping culture, inclusion, and the future of African fashion. I am joined in studio today. Hi, guys.
Hi.
And I'll let them introduce themselves, but I'll do a very quick introduction. I met these incredible young designers at the Nairobi cohort training, which happened about 2 weeks ago at the Technical University of Kenya. And I'll let you introduce yourselves. I think let's start with Adeli and then we move on.
Hi, everyone. My name is Becky Adeli. I am an Afrofused fashionpreneur. That means I mix African fabric and the core of fashion, which is crochet, and the finest way, mix them together and mix other fabrics together to create a new fashion voice. So that's my brand. My brand is called Threads_Intel, and I'm delighted to be here. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Janet Mithamo. My brand is Mythmo Designs. It's actually a startup because when I finished school, I didn't know what exactly I wanted to do. But now I know what I want to do, and it's a brand that is geared towards making clothes for the plus size community and people with disability. And I also do print designs that are emotive so that people can talk about those topics that are really sensitive, but they need us to talk about them because they affect us all as a community and people.
Hi, my name is Kerubo. I'm starting a fashion brand called Diosara. I want to create pieces that talk about the complexity of life that the young woman goes through.
So maybe, Janet, we can start with you.
Yeah.
You highlight the exclusion faced by plus size and disabled communities in garment design and sourcing. So let me say that again. So Janet, I think let's start with you, and pleasure to have you all. And I'm really excited to have this conversation. I think just from your introductions, your brands seem very exciting. Okay. And Janet, let's start with you. You highlight the exclusion faced by plus size and disabled communities in garment design and sourcing. So what practical shifts must the fashion industry make to become truly inclusive in both design and mindset? And maybe you can speak about your personal journey while you were developing. There's very traditional production methods that mostly are targeted towards able-bodied human beings or the average model size that you see on runways. So talk to us through your design process. Maybe also, let's take it one step back. Maybe just clarify why you needed to be inclusive in your design methods, and then maybe talk us through that and what changes have you made in your design to cover these two communities that are not mainstream, if I could call it that.
Okay, so the reason I started my brand is because, for one, I'm a plus size person, a lady, and I've been plus size my whole life. So I actually don't know a time when I was small, and it was always hard to get the clothes that I want. And I remember going to shops and I never had the opportunity to wear something I wanted. It was always mtafutie something that is going to fit her. And I remember there's once my mom brought for me an outfit and I hated it so much. Like, I didn't like it. I thought it looks like for a fat person. And then she told me I had to buy it because there was no way I was going to come back and bring something for your sister and not have something for you. So that made me see, like, fashion, yes, there are clothes that are made for us plus size people, but they don't actually address our love for fashion and our love for style. So we are forced to conform to whatever it is they think we should wear. And then once again, when you look at the runways, they have tried to include us plus size people, but most of the clothes that appear on that runway, they are not flattering to our bodies because we have a lot of fat. We have back fat, we have tires, some of us have tummies at the bottom. So making clothes that are going to actually flatter you is, for people who don't understand how different our bodies are, it becomes really, really hard. So you'll find some parts of us are out, some parts of us are in, parts that should be seen are not seen, parts that should be flaunted aren't flaunted. And so I based my brand on what my mom always told me. When you're making clothes or when you're dressing yourself, make sure it is the most beautiful parts of you that are seen. So now that's why when I'm making my plus size people clothes, the silhouettes are simple, the styles are simple, but I put tiny details that make the outfit stand out and people will appreciate it. So yes, you're wearing a very loose fitting outfit, but it has details that will make people look at it and talk about it. And I'm talking from experience from the people I've made for, and also for myself. Like, this is a very simple chiffon thing I'm wearing.
It's very beautiful.
And it's really pretty.
Is that one of your prints?
Yeah, it's one of my prints.
Wow.
And I don't know whether I should talk about it.
Yeah, yes, please.
If you look at it, as I said, I use topics that affect us all, but no one wants to talk about them. So this one was actually inspired by psychosis. It's a form of mental health. So from Verify, it's just fun, vibrant. But if you look closer, there are faces that are screaming at you.
Wow.
So when I wear it, people asking, are those faces? I'll be like, yeah, they're faces. So why? Then I tell them it's about psychosis. And if you didn't know what psychosis was, or you have an idea of what psychosis is, then you'll talk about it. And some people will be like, I don't want to have mad themes on me because there's a lady I made for her. But then I told her, yes, psychosis has mental health. There's the psychosis where there's so much screaming, but there's also the other side where your good thoughts enter and your bad thoughts come out. So there's another version of it where the center of your brain is still and the outside just has things, they come in but they're not reaching. So the center is just nice and still. So she was like, yes, I want that because I'm all about peace and serenity. So you see, we had two factors. There are some who want to wear the graphic things because it looks nice, and there are others who want to have the same message but on the other spectrum. So through that, we created the people who have worn it with different conversations, and because it has different colors. So that's it. And then your other question was on the disability part. So the reason I wanted to do disabilities because my mom, she's disabled and she's also a big person, plus size, and she also loves fashion. Like it's in her. She loves fashion and arts. And her disability, she was affected by polio when she was a kid. So she grew up with a caliper. So when her clothes are being made, especially her bottom, they have to be long to hide the caliper on her left leg. And then because she's very independent, she drives herself, you have to make sure you put a slit on the right side of the leg so she can be able to move. So you see and also the skirt needs to be longer at the back by like 2 inches because of when she bends on her sticks. So see, already those are so many specifications that when you take to normal tailors, they're like, ay,
ini kitu gani?
Hii sasa lazima tuweke yote. But then you see, it's her because she has, I want to wear this is the fabric I've brought for you, so kindly do for me what I want. And so she took a lot of time, but finally she got someone who'd make the clothes the way she wanted. Then a few years later, unfortunately, she suffered a stroke, so it affected her left side. So her arm on the left side is way bigger than her arm on the right side. So now, even when you're making sleeves for her, it's not the same. So you have to, and then you can't make a big sleeve and a small sleeve. So they have to be equal. So when you're taking measurements, some people will not understand why you want to take this side specifically. Because they're like, just bring this hand. It's the one you want to use. Like, no, this is the hand that is going to give you the right measurement. Some of them, they don't have the patience. Like, they don't have it at all. And that's the last tailor she used. And then she told me, please go to fashion school because I'm tired of these people. I took to someone a dress. I designed how I want the fabric to be put, and I took the measurements. So this lady, I don't know what entered her head. She told herself the measurements are too big for a normal person. So she cut down everything. I told her, this dress looks small. She's like, no, it's not small. Hakuna mtu anaweza kuwa mkubwa hivyo. I mean, who is that big? So I told her, it won't fit. It will fit. I said, so I took the dress. It didn't fit. We had to add things on the side. So she was like, please tell me you're still considering fashion, because me cannot deal with these people anymore. So I took it to her. Also conversations with her friends. Some have back scars, scars on the chest, scars on the legs. So you have to consider every single person's want before you go make those garments, because what normal people wear and consider comfortable, for these other groups, it doesn't work like that. They all have very specific needs that people don't want to pay attention to or don't have the patience at all. And it's hard. Some words they use are hurtful, like they break your heart. And so, so that's why I came up with Meet More Designs. And with the few people I've made for clothes, I have a market and they're happy. And so that's where I've decided that's the niche I want to use and run with to the end. So thank you.
Wow, what an inspirational story. And turning that into designs that are very specific to a market segment that is underrepresented. Well done.
Thanks.
And you say that about differently abled people, but even myself, I'm very small up here and very big. I'll just speak here. I'm a size 8 here, and then on the hips I'm a size 14. So same thing. When I go to a fundi, they take my measurements. Then when I go, I'm like, but this skirt, I can't even enter. And they're like, no, surely you can't be that small here. And then, so I think sometimes, especially when it comes to fashion design, and the foundation of a lot of pattern cutting is very Eurocentric.
Yes.
And just beyond even designing for differently abled individuals, there's also African bodies that are very different from European standards. So I'm very proud that you took that bold step to actually operate beyond the box that a lot of fashion designers are boxed into. So thank you for sharing that very inspirational story.
Can I add something small?
Yes, sure.
Well, the way you've said your body type, my sister is the same. I think my family is a complete inspiration. Yeah. So she's a normal size. She's 5'6", but she has extremely broad shoulders. And she has I'd say a normal bust. She's a 34 double D. I think it's the bust everyone likes. And she has a tiny waist. And then at the bottom, it's this big. So I once made for her trousers. She's like, I don't like the zips on the side. They don't flatter me. So I asked, how do we work zips at the front? Because it's too big to fit. So I had to go check out people like Kim Kardashian because her body is like that.
Very similar, yeah.
So what I saw is, the thing is, you wear like, that's what they call totally long trousers, like high waist, the real high waist, almost close to your bust. And then the zipper fly is almost 20 inches, like long.
Yes.
So she can be able to pull in her outfit. So see, for her now, she was like, finally, I know how to be I know how to be getting my trousers the way I want. And then her arms are not for normal people of 5'6". She has arms for tall people. So most of her tops always used to reach somewhere. So like when you do for her has to be custom made. Otherwise she'll end up looking ridiculous. So I think that's another market, not plus size, but it's bodies that don't look like what you're given in the size charts.
True.
They're just their bodies, they exist, and you need to learn how to work with them.
So thank you. And Theosora, your brand speaks deeply to young women navigating identity, confidence, and ambition. So how have you used your brand as a tool for emotional empowerment and self-trust for young ladies today? And I'm very proud that today I have young ladies in the studio who are actually doing phenomenal work that I think I'm a millennial, not like you very young ladies here. But I think when I was starting, I think all of us were just conditioned, go to school, get a job as a bank teller, and then hope one day to become a bank manager. And that was literally the limitations that we had. So I just like to say I'm very proud that you guys are venturing into your own businesses and doing it differently. So maybe Theosora, tell us about how have you used your fashion as a tool for emotional empowerment and self-trust for young women today?
I think for me, I was also expected to follow something particular, but I don't believe in being confined in one box. So I did that course and I finished.
like most of us.
But once I was done, I realized I have the time now to do what I really like. And in terms of emotional empowerment, I feel like I will make pieces that cater to the woman, her feelings, her own validation, not her wearing to please the society or anything. I want to make pieces that represent different moods, different moments for a woman, so that she can pick whichever piece that is going with her current mood. Yeah. So about confidence, I think I'll be making really bold pieces. I'll not be afraid, because I feel like if a woman is in a bold piece, she also commands space, and that also will reflect with her own personal mood, and then that will give her confidence. Yeah.
Love it.
Thank you.
And all the best as
you.
as you journey into the fashion world.
Yeah.
Is that one of your pieces?
Yeah,
And would you
yeah.
like to speak about?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to speak about this piece. This was my first piece. I called it Mzizi to represent roots, because when a tree is growing, it starts with the roots, and my brand has just started growing. So the first piece is elements of roots, many extensions. So that to me represents roots that my brand will be firm in. And I chose green here because green is abundance, and that's what I want for the woman will be wearing my brand. That's what I also want for my brand. Yeah, there'll be many more, but
Well done.
I'm
It's a
glad.
beautiful piece.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So Adeli, and I really like the piece that you're wearing.
Thank
I'm
you.
seeing hoodie, I'm seeing crochet, I'm seeing wax print, or maybe not wax. We're wax print actually.
Yes.
So your work blends unexpected textiles, as you can see.
Yeah.
And you've mentioned that you work with recycled materials.
Mm-hmm.
And how have you used innovation, or what does it look like for you as a designer? I think when we speak about innovation, we think it's coming up with, I don't know, something tech related.
Yeah.
But actually, just your piece is very innovative.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you use innovation? Speak a bit about your design process and
Okay.
and your inspiration behind your brand.
Okay. I'll start with the latter. My brand began as somebody believed in me so much that they gave me a crochet hook. My grandmother, who is 98 and is also Rebecca, actually. So she gave me a crochet hook after I finished Form 4, and she told me, with this hook, may you change the world. And on days that I cannot crochet for people to give it to them, may whatever you create be a warm sweater that will guide them through the cold night. Wow. So I understood that as making sweaters. So I instinctively began making sweaters, crochet sweaters, and selling them. And that also is a part of my brand, because I also do outreaches, and from 20% of everything that I make, I always make sweaters for children in children's home and hoodies. So that is my social responsibility project that I usually do every year. On my birthday, I gift a children's home with sweaters and scarves from the sales made. So that is how I carry my grandmother's memory, and that is how my fashion brand began. But I have always been one not to follow rules in the best way possible. Not really break the rules, but bend them. So my grandmother told me to do crochet, and I have always known, I've always been in fashion since I was young, but I've always run away from it because I didn't want to conform to a specific way of making clothes. So when I began learning crochet, I wanted to infuse it and create a new fashion voice that would be very recognizable and very unique, bold yet not screaming, loud, subtle but loud, something that is a juxtaposition between the two, and something that would be me on a fabric, because I am loud but not screaming. You'll notice me, but you won't. You will. It is easy to notice, but not really easy to talk to. Like something that is unique, something that you'd admire from a mile away. So that is me in a nutshell. And I wanted to create pieces for me, and pieces that made me happy, because when I die, because everyone will die one day, when I die, I would like my pieces to tell the story that I did not tell. And people who interact with my pieces can feel the heart that was in the design process. So for instance, this one, it's a 1 of 10 piece collection called Fragments. It's a fragment of, you can clearly see there's some spaces, and I've mixed 3 fabrics in this specific hoodie. There's the fleece, and there's the crochet, and there's the Ankara. So this particular collection, the Fragments, the story behind Fragments came from a point of, every time you show your full self to people, but they don't really understand your totality. So it's important that you show just a little bit. So it's a play on modesty, a play on uniqueness, a play on showing just a little bit, enough that will spark a conversation among people. So that's one of these pieces. And I mix fabrics very intentionally, a soft fabric with a very hard fabric, so that it can show the beauty of life. Sometimes it's dark, sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's soft, sometimes it's smooth. But when you mix the very soft moments and the very hard moments, it always creates a very unique masterpiece that you can wear, and let that be the foundation and the core of your story. So it's like literally wearing your heart on a sleeve. And I'm someone who is a very lazy dresser, but I always want to look good and to spark a conversation with something that I can easily pop in and pop out of. So the brand really elevates the wardrobe's staples and turns them into statement pieces that are not really screaming for someone who is every day, like can wear something to run around to the grocery store. Doesn't have to be something extra. It could be something unique but really subtle, but something that will really, really, really be unique, and you won't find 5 people with it. So I create for people who want to stand out, to make a statement, and to tell a story through the pieces that they put on themselves, for themselves, and for people who are beneficiaries of that by extension, that we could all be warm sweaters to the people who deserve it and who feel cold at night. Yeah.
Wow, what an inspiring story. All your stories, I'm like, maybe I need to go back and redefine my brand and my brand purpose. So thank you. So just as we wrap up, all of us on this table, we have one thing in common. We met at the Creative DNA Sanara program. And I think what's more inspiring than anything is that each of you individually has purpose beyond just profit. So maybe I'll start with you, Janet, and then Theosara, and then Adeli. Could you maybe just tell us, as we close, why it was important to join a program like Creative DNA Sanara, and what did you learn that you want to take onto your brand in the next 5 to 10 years? I know you're just starting out, and I was very inspired when we met that you said, I'm starting, and this forum has given me the encouragement I needed to launch my fashion journey. So maybe tell us that, and then as you finish, mention where people can find your brand, whether it's on social media or a website.
Okay, for me, the program really opened my mind. Yeah, I had not really grasped things like brand DNA. So I think that's something that I had to sit down and think about. If people see something, will they say that's Theosara? Yeah, so that's something I've been really thinking about. How will I make my pieces so that when someone sees it, they say, yeah, I know, this must be her. So I think that's something I have to think about. Even pricing, I won't lie. I realize so much goes into labor and the materials, and sometimes you underprice yourself. You work feeling drained, feeling unmotivated because you're putting so much work into something, but you don't feel like you deserve such kind of pay. So that's something I had to sit down and think about too. For me, I want to grow so much that I give back to the society. To me, I feel like when I'm growing, I go to people who are more established and they're unwilling to say how they've grown, unwilling to say where they've gotten even things like tailors. So I think for me, I really want to grow so that when I'm older, I can hold the hands of young creatives who are trying to get into the market. Because I feel like there isn't really growth if we don't hold each other, if we have the resources, but we don't help the younger ones. So that's what I really want to do. Yeah, when I get the profit, that is.
All the best.
Thank you.
And where can people find you?
My new brand is called Theosara, the brand.
How do you spell that?
THEOSARA. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Janet?
Hi again. So for me, as I mentioned earlier, I finished fashion school, I think in 2023. Then I went through the internship. 2024 was fun because people are like, ooh, we have someone to make clothes for us. 2025 was horrible. I think I cried a lot in 2025 because now the people who wanted clothes I had already made for them. So now everyone was like, you have good garments, but you've not put yourself out there. So other than your friends and family, no one else knows you. So 2026, my goal, I entered it with actually my goal is to make myself more visible, to make people know what I'm all about, what my brand is, because nobody actually knows me at all. And so I was scrolling through Instagram for fun. I found this link, I applied, I then applied late, and I came. So the reason I came was to know how to market my brand, because I have the products, they are good, I've gotten praises, but if only your friends and family are the ones that know what you do, then your brand will fail. As I told you, 2024 was nice, but 2025 was horrible. So no one will know you outside of your group. So that's why I actually applied here, and by not the classes alone, but by meeting other people who have been in fashion for longer, following their pages, seeing what they post. Now it has given me an idea of how I want my brand to be represented and how I want to communicate myself. Because I think how you present yourself socially, even on the Instagram pages and Linktree, is how people associate you and the idea they'll have of your brand and the identity. So I'll say those 2 weeks, the lessons and the people I've met and the pages I've followed, they've given me information I don't think I got in my 3 years in school or even in my 2 years trying to establish myself. And now moving forward, I know what I want to do and I want to concentrate on that. I know it's going to take me almost the entire year, so I have to exercise patience, but I'm ready because I know what I'm giving. I know it will affect a lot of people. It has good messages, and so I'm ready to put in the work. So for that, I'm not scared because Sanara has made me see it 6 times and I'm ready for that. So thank you.
What about you, Adeli?
For me, my background being in public relations and communication, I always feel like everyone in our own uniqueness has a unique story, and each of us is uniquely you. You are uniquely you in your own way. So why not be unique and also wear unique products? So that could be my parting shot. Wear unique products. Don't look the same as your neighbor. Custom pieces is the way to go. Waswahili husema mwamba ngozi huvuta upande wake. So I will always back my own tree. So you can shop Threads Intel for unique products to be unique and allow your pieces to tell your story your own way. Feel warm and feel appreciated, because people will forget the money you give them, the time, but they'll never forget how you make them feel. And for me, Creative DNA made me feel unique, made me feel I can do it, made me feel empowered enough to empower people around me and to empower even my networks. And there's actually a branch in Threads Intel. It's called Fashionpreneurship by Threads Intel. So it's a program that I run with young designers who are willing to bend the rule a bit and mix crochet in its purest form with a very hard fabric. And now I do trainings for them. So coming to Creative DNA impacted Threads Intel as a brand, impacted Adeli as a person, and impacted the future, which is Fashionpreneurship by Threads Intel, and also every other activity that revolves around me. And that did not only help me, but also helped the people around and the future. So what the future looks like 5 to 10 years from now is having set up structures that will allow people to thrive without me being there. So I'll have set up another fashion industry. Yes, industry. Amen. Another fashion industry, and I'll have completely revolutionized the fashion industry by adding a new voice of Afrofused pieces, mixing crochet and other very tough fabrics. So that's how I see it in my foreseeable future. And having set up a school that will train people on the complexity of an undefined fashion. Yes. And where you can find me is Threads_Intel. Threads, that is THREADS_INTEL. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I'm wishing you the best. I think all of you have said you want to put yourselves out there, and I think it was really brave for you guys to come. And is this the first time recording a podcast?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think you guys did exceptionally well, and I think this is the first step towards your storytelling. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So Creative DNA Sanara continues. So be on the lookout. Creative DNA Sanara, we continue to support young fashion designers. And you can find more information on social media pages. We'll do an open call. So you can follow at Trio Media KE, that's TRIO Media KE, and the British Council pages at East African Arts. Thank you so much for joining us. And this is just the first of several conversations with young fashion designers who are part of the Creative DNA Sanara program, and be on the lookout for more in the upcoming months. Thank you very much and have a lovely day.